Have you ever stopped to think that money isn't just about buying things, that it actually affects our freedom, our emotional well-being, and even the way we see life? In this video, I want to show you a new way to understand money, not as an end goal, but as a real tool for transformation. We're going to talk about the value it holds in the small victories, paying off a debt, saying no to a toxic job, or even giving a simple gift to someone you love. If you feel stuck in a cycle of financial stress, insecurity, or if you just want to understand how to handle money in a lighter and more conscious way, this video is for you. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, because every detail you'll see here could be a turning point in your financial and emotional life. Don't skip any part. Understanding this fully is the first step to break out of autopilot and take control. Let's do this together in the stillness of late-night thoughts. There is a mind that pulses restless as if something deeply important is always just out of reach. It's not hunger for power, nor thirst for absurd wealth. It's a subtle emptiness, the kind that arises when one realizes that no one ever taught them the true value of money, not the numbers, and not the emotional weight it carries. She thinks about the months when her paycheck becomes a mirage halfway through, the debts that seem to have a life of their own, about the promises she makes to herself every January. This year will be different. But different how? Where will this mysterious kind of knowledge come from, the one that turns chaos into clarity? The desire isn't just to understand numbers, it's to tame fears. To step out of the cave of financial ignorance and finally see that freedom is sin. About earning more it's about learning how to use what you already have. In this quiet search, she begins to study. She reads about compound interest as if discovering a new language. Listens to podcasts like they're modern-day oracles. Each new concept is a light switched on in her mind, illuminating not just her bank account, but also the story they told about money. The journey is just beginning, but now there's something that wasn't there before. Awareness. And with it, the seed of change. Asterisk money. At first glance, it seems cold. Asterisk just paper, numbers on a screen. Transactions that come and go. But those who live real life know, behind every bill, there's a story. And more often than not, it's a story of struggle. Because for many, money isn't about showing off. It's about existing with dignity. It's bread on the table. It's the child going to school with a packed lunch. It's the electricity bill paid, the fridge with food, the rent on time. It's the bare minimum that brings a little peace in a world that demands too much and teaches too little. And that's why talking about money isn't shallow. It's talking about freedom, about self-worth, about the future. It's unlocking doors that once felt sealed shut. It's learning to use what you have with wisdom to build something greater than fear. A path made of choices, not just obligations. Money may seem cold, but when cared for wisely, it warms lives. Money, no matter how technical it may seem, is also an emotional experience. It moves through us in silent, often imperceptible ways. When the end of the month comes and the bills don't balance, but we feel just frustration with numbers, it's a deep sense of personal failure, as if we're doing everything wrong. But the truth is, no one ever taught us how to deal with money in a healthy way. Talking about it is still, far too often, seen as shameful, taboo, or arrogant. The absence of financial education creates more than debt. It creates wounds. Many people grow up hearing money isn't everything, yet live in environments where it defines everything. What we eat, where we live, whether there's time to rest, whether there's room to dream. On the other hand, even when someone starts earning more, the insecurity often remains. Because it's not just about having, it's about knowing how to relate to what you have. The lack and the excess of money, when misunderstood, can lead to the same result. Emotional instability. Every financial decision reflects something deeper. Our fears, desires, traumas, and beliefs. Saving might be a sign of discipline, or of deeply rooted scarcity. Overspending might bring temporary relief, or be an attempt to fill emotional voids that money will never heal. That's why developing financial awareness goes beyond learning how to invest or budget. It's about reclaiming the value of our own story, understanding how we were shaped to view money, and rewriting that narrative. When we look at money with more compassion and less judgment, we make room for healing. And only then can money fulfill its most beautiful role. Not to define who we are, but to expand our freedom to become. The true value of money isn't found in bank balances or the things it can buy. It lies in the quiet freedoms it makes possible. In the deep breath of someone who, after sleepless nights, finally managed to pay off a debt. In the emotional eyes of a mother who, for the first time, could say yes to her child's request without tightening her heart. It's in the strength of someone who gains the autonomy to say no to an abusive job and yes to themselves. Money is more than a resource. It's a bridge. It takes us from a place of survival to a space of choice. It doesn't have to be a lot, but when used with intention, it opens small windows of peace in a world that demands more than it gives. Gaining financial control, at its core, is about reclaiming the ability to breathe with ease. Because in the end, money is not about accumulation, it's about dignity. It's about being able to care, to dream, to build. About knowing that even in an unequal system, it's still possible to find paths toward autonomy and respect, starting with the way we relate to what we already have. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if this message resonated with you, chances are it can help someone else too. So take a moment to share it with a friend, a family member, or anyone who might need a new perspective on money and freedom. Your support means the world, and it helps this content reach more people who are ready to take control of their financial lives. Don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to know what part hit you the hardest. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Speaking of that, make sure to check out the next video right here. It's a deep dive into how to actually build a healthier, conscious relationship with your money. See you there.